Hello, it's me, Nick, head of MOC I, and today I am back with... Oh, this is a little embarrassing. A few months ago I had intended on doing a video, but basically on that exact same day, everything that could have gone wrong for me went wrong. I'm not really going to talk about it because what happened was private, but basically that really set back a lot of the video scheduling on my channel. And because a lot of the videos that I have planned for my channel are of MOCs that are a long way away from being built and are still currently in production or pre-production, if you will state, I've decided that I would review this mini MOC I built a few days ago. Without any further interruption, this is M-Tronite. Now, on first glance, you might think he's a Lego former, but he actually is not. Well, he is, but not in the sense that most Lego formers are. M-Tronite's design is based off a lot of 1980-something anime shows, such as Gundam, where he has the longer legs and the shorter arm proportion styles. Also, his playability features are somewhat based off Japanese-style toys, as he includes a lot of accessories. Personally, I really love this guy, but only after a while you begin to notice that he does have quite a few flaws. The entire model is very poseable, but more on that later. But one of the things that's really annoying about the model is the fact the way these arms are held on. Because of the way the guy transforms, his shoulders have to be mounted on these clips in order for him to rotate around to move out of the way, and that results in them coming off extremely easy. And because his arms are on a ball joint, that makes opposing this area of his body very difficult. Also, due to transformation, his head is actually held on from the back by a T-joint. Now, that doesn't look that bad from the front, but when you rotate to the side a little bit, it begins to make him look a bit like he has a hunched back. Also, standing him up is doable, but it's very hard, which is why, luckily, it comes with a stand. The stand becomes even more mandatory when you have to put in his many weapons he includes, but we'll get to that in a second. Overall, this guy has some really cool detail. He's got some vents at front of the chest, some engines back here, and even a little bit of these, and I guess what would be some kind of wiring or functionality texture back here. I'm not sure what that would be, but I do like it, and I just threw it in for texture additions. And on top of that, he actually has little rocket boots down here where he presumably would be flying. But now I think it's time to get down to the posability in this guy. Ball joint at the hip, ball joint at the knee, which allows it to bend back and do a swivel. Arguably an ankle bend, but that's more for transformation. Ball joint at the shoulders. And a bend at the elbow, but unfortunately no biswept swivel, so you can't really curve it or anything. Back here the wings are on ball joints so they can rotate around a bit, and they can also bend down. And then the head's a bit of a nightmare. He can look up disturbingly high and can't look down at all. And then he can do this terrifying thing, but no way of getting him to look side to side, all because of a transformation. Of course, M-Tronite is supposed to be fighting Kaiju and giant space aliens, and he can't do that without his weapons. M-Tronite includes two weapons, the M-Tronite gun and the M-Tronite shield, very creatively named. To attach to his weapons, you basically just plug the gun into his hand and attach the M-Tronite shield onto his forearm. And as you can see in his fully armored mode, he looks pretty cool in it. Well, except for that shield. The shield is supposed to have missile tops poking out of it that can be deployed from it in order to fire at whatever he's fighting, but honestly they just look kinda silly. But all you really have to do to fix that is just replace it with a plate of some sort, which I may or may not do. Also, I don't know why one of those 1x1 rounds in that gun's barrel is just red. I think I was just being sloppy that day. But to be honest, those two little errors don't really bother me very much, considering that it just looks really cool. Also, as another cool function, if you pop off the handle and insert the stock of the gun into his hand, you can convert the gun into the M-Blade. Yeah, now he looks ready to slice up some rubber suit monster. Also, with some careful adjustments of the stand, you can make it look like he's flying with his weapons, which looks even cooler. The only issue now is, what the heck do you do with this? Personally, my best hope is to make it look like it's something he's using to hold his shield with, but then it doesn't really make sense when he's using his shield with his gun. And honestly, this doesn't look that great. Now, all throughout the video, I've been talking about how he has a transformation, and I'm sure some of you are wondering right now, well, when am I going to transform him? Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to transform him now. And this is M-Tronite in his space cruiser mode. Now, I'm hoping you saw the transformation well, because his transformation is kind of hard to get on camera, because his transformation is really a mess, and the resulting alt mode you get after you transform him is kind of a mess in itself. Now, while it is a mess, I do think it is a mess that works well, considering that he does fold up very nicely into his space cruiser mode, just not cleanly. And his complex transformation is what makes him lose so much posability and sturdiness in his robot mode. Now, the Shuttlecraft mode has a lot of kibble on it, but all of which is kind of forgivable, because it gives the ship more character. And I can forgive all of it, except for this. I think all the kibble on the space cruiser mode just makes his alt mode look more anime-esque, but the head just is weird and creepy. I mean, it just kind of sticks out, and you can even see it from the front. It's this weird eye sticking out. I mean, sure, it could be worse. At least it's not sticking through a windshield or something, but honestly, I think this could be executed better, but I'm not certain. This was honestly the best way I could think of it, and it doesn't bother me as much as it should. It just drives me a little nuts when I see this sticking out the bottom. And, by the way, the arms pop off just as easily as thruster thingies. Overall, this alt mode isn't bad. It's just a bit disappointing compared to the cool robot mode, as you have to keep it on the stand. Also, nowhere to store these weapons. Overall, this MOC is really cool, But unfortunately, he is just so fragile. He's more good for displayability than actual playability. I do really love this guy, so sometime in the future I might even do a LEGO Digital Designer build tutorial on my channel for him. But honestly, if you want to follow and watch that video to build him for yourself, I'd recommend this to be more of a build for a MOC collector than a person who builds MOCs to play with. He does look very nice, but the fact that his shoulders pop up so freaking easily, and that his weapons are kinda easily lost, that he's probably just best to keep on a desk or on a shelf in order to just look cool and display. But overall, I do really still like it, and I think it is worth a decent fun build. I hope you have enjoyed the video, because as you can tell from the audio, most likely, this has been the first time in a while I've recorded a video, so I'm getting used to going back into the swing of things. And I will see you in the next episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.